Have you ever paused and truly wondered if there's more to reality than what meets the eye? Like an unseen architecture to everything. What if every single experience, every interaction, every challenge you face isn't just random? What if it's all part of this like intricate self-generating process, one that's actually designed for your profound growth?
That's a huge question, isn't it? It really gets you thinking about the nature of reality itself and our place in it.
Exactly. It pushes us to reconsider everything. So today, we're embarking on a truly exceptional deep dive. We're going to unpack an extraordinary collection of source material known as the raw material, or sometimes called the Law of One.
Right.
And this isn't just a book or even a series of books. It's a meticulously transcribed record of channeled communications, supposedly with an extraterrestrial social memory complex named Ra.
Yeah, it's pretty out there, but fascinating stuff.
It really is. It's a journey that promises to challenge and maybe expand your understanding of the universe, and maybe even more importantly, your understanding of yourself.
And our mission today really is to act as your guides through these pretty profound sources. Think of it as us providing a shortcut, maybe. A way to get genuinely well-informed about concepts that span, well, everything from cosmic evolution to deep spiritual principles.
Right.
And even some surprisingly practical advice for navigating your daily life. We're going to try and distill some incredibly complex ideas into insights that are hopefully understandable, aiming for those aha moments,
Yeah, without the overwhelm.
Exactly. Without feeling like you're drowning in information, making the esoteric accessible and maybe even relevant to your own personal journey.
Absolutely. So get ready for a unique exploration. We'll start by tracing the fascinating origins of this contact. Then we'll dive into the intricate philosophy it unveils. We'll explore the unseen forces that might be at play in our world. And finally, look at how these ancient yet timely teachings could apply directly to your own personal transformation.
It's going to be quite the ride.
It really is. And I promise, there are some truly surprising revelations waiting for us. Okay, let's unpack this fascinating material and get started.
Let's do it.
So, to really appreciate the magnitude of the Ramus material, we kind of have to start at its, unconventional beginning. Picture this. It's 1968. A researcher named Don Elkins, a real pioneer, he poses this bold, almost audacious hypothesis.
Okay.
Could telepathic contact with other intelligences be a reproducible phenomenon, something you could actually bring about intentionally?
Oh, that's ambitious for 68.
Right. And he didn't just wonder, he actually put it to the test. Our sources describe how Don invited about a dozen of his engineering students to join an experiment, aiming for some kind of telepathic communication.
Okay, engineering students. Interesting choice.
Yeah. And initially, this yielded what they charmingly called puzzling results. Participants would often just emit this raucous symphony of guttural clicks, slurps, and tongue flops.
Clicks and slurps. Seriously.
Seriously. Making it quite the challenge, apparently, for Carla L. Ruckert. She was the 13th member and the eventual channel just to keep a straight face.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
But that's a great point, because what really stands out about those early days is just the sheer persistence and the openness to unconventional methods Don and Carla showed.
Totally.
I mean, imagine getting guttural clicks and tongue flops from your research subjects. Most people would just packed up and said, okay, that's it.
This isn't working.
But they saw potential in that chaos somehow. And it truly laid crucial groundwork. In fact, Don and Carla formally partnered as LL Research in 1970. They even co-authored an unpublished book back in 1968, The Crucifixion of Esmeralda Sweetwater.
Interesting title.
Isn't it? And our sources suggest it seemed to anticipate many of the experiences they would later encounter. So this willingness to explore, even when the path was unclear or maybe even seemed absurd, was absolutely essential for what came next.
And speaking of things lining up, there was this striking synchronicity that happened in 1974. Another researcher, Andrija Puharic, published his book URI.
Oh, yeah, Puharic.
Right. And it detailed communications with alleged extraterrestrial intelligences. But these contacts were really novel, involving things like levitating objects and tape recorders that would just spontaneously start recording messages.
Wild stuff.
Totally. And Don Elkins, who'd been meticulously tracking his own research for years, was apparently deeply impressed by the large number of correlations between what Puharic found and LL Research's own evolving work.
Ah, So seeing connections.
Exactly. It was like this powerful hint that maybe they weren't just isolated explorers, but we're all tapping into something much bigger, you know, a broader, interconnected cosmic thing.
Right, a larger phenomenon.
But the actual ray of contact itself, the real focus of today's deep dive, that was apparently entirely unexpected. It began quite suddenly, January 15, 1981. During a teaching session where Carla was actually learning to channel something else entirely.
So not what they were aiming for at that moment.
Not at all. And picture this core trio. Carla serving as the instrument, the one Ra would eventually speak through. Don, with his years of experience in investigating the UFO contactee phenomenon, he naturally took on the absolutely crucial role of the questioner, guiding the dialogue with these really precise probing questions.
That makes sense given his background.
And then there was Jim McCarty, who supported the whole process as both the meditator and the scribe, meticulously recording every single word.
Wow. So a real team effort.
It truly was a unique collaborative effort that depended on each person's specific role.
And, you know, this collaboration wasn't just practical. The group's internal dynamics and relationships were absolutely critical to the whole process.
How so?
Well, our sources emphasize that the harmony that we developed between us was very stable and was a critical ingredient in establishing and maintaining the contact.
Ah, okay. So the vibe between them mattered.
Hugely.
Yeah.
This wasn't just about the profound message being received, but also about the stability and like the coherence of the vessel, the human group through which that message could flow without getting too distorted.
Right.
The integrity of their relationships directly impacted the clarity and purity of the communication. It really shows the power of human intention and cooperation, doesn't it?
It really does. And the sessions themselves, they weren't casual. They were steeped in this precise, almost sacred ritual.
Okay.
Before each contact, Carla would mentally recite the prayer of St. Francis, kind of preparing herself.
Oh.
And at the same time, Don would meticulously align a table with specific items, creating what Raul later described as a balanced energy field.
Specific items, like what?
Well, the setup included a Bible open to the Gospel of John, chapter 1, a virgin chalice of water, meaning unused before a white candle, and incense in a virgin censer.
Very specific.
Very. We even have a photo from June 9, 1982 that captures this exact arrangement. It shows the incredible care and intentionality they put into every single session.
And Rab actually explained the rationale for this elaborate setup.
Yes, they did.
Okay, what was the reasoning? Because it sheds light on the deeper meaning, right? For instance, the incense, Ra said, was used to energize Carla's physical body, thereby signifying its humanity and kind of grounding her during the trance.
Ah, okay, practical energetic.
Exactly. And the lighted candle symbolized love light and light love, helping to focus and raise the higher energies. This careful alignment wasn't just ceremony. It was designed specifically to balance the instrument, Carla, and prevent her fatigue.
Right, so she could handle the energy.
Precisely. Allowing Ra to utilize her body to communicate effectively without causing, excessive strain. It was a precise energetic calibration, ensuring both clarity of message and protection for Carla.
And throughout these intense sessions, Jim's role was equally vital, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
He would sit in meditation, continuously sending light and support to Carla, only pausing briefly, apparently, to flip the cassette tapes over when they reached the end of a side.
Wow. Dedicated focus.
Totally. And once a session concluded, Don would gently assist Carla as she returned to her waking state. She was often quite stiff after the trance.
I bet.
He'd call her name a few times, rub her neck, and then offer her water from that chalice water that he and Jim had apparently carefully infused with their love vibrations during the session.
Infusing the water. That's dedication.
Every detail from the prep to the recovery was handled with just immense care and intention.
Yeah, it really paints a picture.
But, and this is really important, make no mistake, this commitment came with an immense personal cost to the LL Research Group, far beyond just academic curiosity.
Right, this wasn't just research for them.
Not at all. Carla, as the primary instrument, endured profound physical struggles. Can you even imagine wasting away under the brilliant energy of Ray's vibration, losing 2 to 3 pounds per session?
2 to 3 pounds, that's intense.
Incredibly intense. She experienced continuous pain flares. It exacerbated pre-existing conditions like arthritis and lupus erythematosus. She dealt with chronic issues like kidney failure, which she'd actually suffered from since she was 13, and ongoing stomach problems.
Wow, that's a heavy physical toll.
It almost makes my complaints about needing coffee seem trivial by comparison.
It definitely puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
Right.
But what's powerful, I think, is how Ra helps us understand these weren't just random misfortunes.
Okay.
Carla later reflected on these as potentially a pre-incarnative choice, like a conscious decision made before her birth to have a physically limiting body, recognizing it as her unique path to spiritual service.
So choosing the challenge.
Kind of reframing suffering as a chosen catalyst for profound inner transformation. And the sacrifices, they extended to the entire group. Don experienced deep melancholy, which was apparently made worse by the contact and his demanding work schedule. His eventual decline and death were partly influenced by fears and the physical toll of his job, plus the stress. And he sacrificed his precious solitude with Carla, which was a deeply personal cost for him.
Right, giving up that personal time.
And Jim, too, had to sacrifice his love of isolation to be part of this really intense group dynamic. All three experienced this profound weariness of the spirit, often indistinguishable from sheer physical exhaustion, all in service of this communication.
That's an incredible story of their dedication. Carla herself put it quite powerfully, didn't she?
She did.
I would gladly have died in this service, for during these sessions, Don was a happy man.
Yeah.
It just illustrates this incredibly profound dedication to purpose where personal well-being was almost secondary to the greater mission of service.
It really does. And perhaps that self-sacrifice, when done consciously for service, is a cornerstone of this particular spiritual path.
And what's truly intriguing and really significant for understanding the material is that Rack explicitly instructed them that their contact operated on a narrow band.
A narrow band. What does that mean?
It wasn't some technical limitation, apparently. It was a deliberate choice. It meant that only information of the purest and most precise nature concerning the process of the evolution of mind, body, and spirit could be successfully transmitted.
So focused on the big stuff.
Exactly. Ra compared asking transient, mundane questions like, what's the weather like on Venus or who won the World Series to trying to run a finely tuned engine on crude petroleum.
Okay, gotcha. Bad fuel mix.
It just wouldn't work. This highlights their singular laser-like focus on delivering higher knowledge and discouraging any diversion into less significant details. It ensured the integrity and the profound depth of the information they shared.
That makes sense. Keep the channel pure for the important information.
Precisely. So, after that incredible origin story, let's kind of zoom out to Ra's grand cosmic framework. What does this all mean for our understanding of the universe? At its very core is this concept of intelligent infinity, described as unpolarized, full and whole, the ultimate being itself. How can we even begin to grasp something so vast?
Yeah, it's a mind bender. Think of intelligent infinity as maybe the boundless ocean of pure consciousness before any individual waves or ripples even appeared.
Okay, pure potential.
Exactly. It's the ultimate source of everything existing in this undifferentiated state. Pure potentiality before any manifestation.
Yeah.
And it's from this infinite unity, through what Ra calls the primal distortion of free will, that the universe as we know it begins to unfold.
Free will as the first step.
As the first distortion. From there, each galaxy then develops its own unique logos. You can think of the logos as like the master architect or the one great heart of creation for that specific galactic system.
Okay.
It determines the paths of intelligent energy and sets the fundamental natural laws for its unique creation. And our own sun, in turn, is described as a sublogos.
A sublogos.
Yeah, which further differentiates the experiential components within these broader galactic patterns. Yeah. It creates the specific conditions for life and evolution right here in our solar system. It's like this beautifully nested system of creation.
Wow, okay. Logos, sublogos. This brings us to another really fascinating concept Ra uses to describe the journey of consciousness. Densities.
Ah, yes, densities. Crucial concept.
Instead of just like a linear progression, Ra presents densities as these multi-layered classrooms for spiritual and conscious evolution.
That's a good way to put it. Classrooms.
It's a progression of awareness, a multi-layered journey through existence, rather than just, say, a physical dimension we move through.
Right. It's about consciousness levels.
So to give you a taste, let's quickly touch on a few key ones. The first is first density, often referred to as the red ray.
The foundation.
Exactly, the foundational state, beginning in chaos, then slowly forming awareness of being. Think of the fundamental elements, minerals, water, the raw forces of nature like fire and wind.
Basic building blocks.
These are the basic building blocks, learning simply to exist and respond to their environment. It's just about being.
Got it. Minerals and water learning to be.
Moving upward, we encounter second density, the orange ray. This realm is characterized by higher plant and animal life entities that exist, as Ra puts it, without the upward drive towards the infinite.
So growth, instinct, but not self-aware choice in the same way.
Pretty much. They embody growth and adaptation, but lack that self-conscious awareness of individual choice that defines the next level. Interestingly, Ra says some second density beings can become inspirited.
Inspirited.
Right. Specific animals, certain trees, or even localized mineral formations or places that receive and give love in relation to third density entities like us.
Places having spirit. Interesting.
And for those curious about the unusual, Ra actually identified Bigfoot as one type of second density entity.
Bigfoot, really? Ra mentioned Bigfoot.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
An intriguing detail that kind of grounds this cosmic framework in some earthly lore, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Okay, so first density minerals, second density plants and animals. What's next?
Next, we arrive at third density, the yellow ray. And this is where humanity currently finds itself. This is the crucial density of consciousness.
Our classroom.
Our classroom. And it's uniquely characterized by a sleep and a forgetting, which is actually described as a necessary condition for confusion or free will to truly operate without interference.
The veil of forgetting.
Exactly. Our sources reveal that historically, human lifespans have actually shortened significantly in this density, from maybe 900 years way back down to 700, and then even less.
Why the decrease?
Ra attributes this decline to increasing inharmonious relational vibration between other selves, basically conflict and discord, and a growing feeling complex distortion towards separateness.
Ah, so division shortens the experience.
Seems like it. The more we emphasize division and separateness, the shorter our shared journey here becomes. It's like a powerful feedback loop.
That makes a disturbing amount of sense.
Now, here's a truly crucial piece of information about our current global situation, according to Ra. The sphere upon which you dwell is third density in its beingness. It is now in a space-time continuum, fourth density.
Whoa, okay, say that again. The planet is third density, but we're in fourth density space-time.
That's what Ross says. It means Earth is undergoing this profound energetic shift, like a cosmic graduation, which Ra describes as causing a somewhat difficult harvest.
Difficult harvest? Okay, we need to unpack that.
Definitely. Our sources explain that the approach of fourth density is as regularized in its approach as the striking of a clock upon the hour.
So it's predictable, like cosmic clockwork.
Seems so. Our solar system's movement through spacetime has caused the planet itself to spiral into spacetime of a different vibrational configuration, making it appropriately magnetized for this new higher density. This isn't random. It's part of a much larger, predictable cosmic cycle.
Okay, so the planet's energy is shifting. This raises a really important question then. What exactly does harvest mean in this context? It sounds a bit ominous.
It does, but Ra clarifies it's not some apocalyptic judgment. It's more like a natural process. When entities complete a cycle of experience, like third density, they will be separated by their own choice into the vibratory distortion most comfortable to their mind-body-spirit complexes.
Separated by choice. Comfortable vibration. So it's like finding your energetic level.
Essentially, yeah. It's a sorting based on one's accumulated energetic orientation, a natural alignment with the vibration you've cultivated through your choices. To be harvestable into fourth density, an entity needs to demonstrate at least 51% orientation towards service to others.
51%.
Yeah.
The majority leaning towards helping others.
Right. Or conversely, a very high degree of service to self, 95% orientation towards service to self.
95%. Wow, that's extreme dedication to self-interest. So polarization is key.
Polarization is absolutely key. Ra also notes the presence of a new breed of people currently incarnating on Earth, specifically here for fourth density work, who are actively contributing to the planet's changing vibration and helping facilitate this shift.
Interesting. People incarnating now specifically for this transition.
Seems that way. Beyond our current stage, Ra briefly touches upon even higher densities too.
Okay, what's beyond fourth?
For instance, fifth density is the wisdom or light ray, a realm described as pure wisdom and learning. Apparently, the entity known as Jesus currently studies there.
Jesus in fifth density. Wow.
It's described as a place of comfort where wisdom is shared and solace is found, rather than the direct, intense, catalytic learning of third density.
A density of integration, maybe.
Could be. Then there's sixth density, the love light, unity ray. This is where the higher self, our own oversoul, essentially resides and operates, offering service back to earlier densities like ours.
Our higher self is in 6th density.
Okay, then the 7th density is considered the gateway cycle, leading finally to the 8th density, the octave, which Ra says moves into a mystery we do not plumb, a realm basically beyond our current comprehension.
Back to the source, perhaps.
Perhaps. And central to our experience here, in 3rd density, a really unique aspect of our current classroom is the crucial role of the veil of forgetting.
Right, we mentioned that, the forgetting.
This isn't just a minor aspect. Ray emphasizes it as the only plane of forgetting in the entire octave of densities. This veiling between the conscious and unconscious portions of the mind was, in fact, the primary tool for extending the first distortion, free will, making our choices truly free and, well, unbiased by knowing our cosmic origins or future destiny.
So the forgetting is designed to make free will more potent.
That's the idea. Before this great experiment of the veil, Ra says mind-body spirits could consciously control things we now consider involuntary functions.
Like what?
Imagine being able to directly influence the pressure of blood in the veins, the beating of the organ you call the heart, the intensity of the sensation known to you as pain.
Whoa. Conscious control over physiology.
The veil fundamentally altered the nature of our physical and mental experience, making it much more intensely catalytic and, you could argue, much more challenging.
It certainly feels like a handicap from our perspective, doesn't it? Not remembering our past lives or even our true nature. Isn't that a massive obstacle to spiritual progress?
You think so?
But what's profound is how Ra explains it. This veil, while difficult, actually creates the vibrancy or the keen edge of interest necessary for truly transformative growth. Without that veil, choices wouldn't carry the same weight or produce the same catalytic effect. It provides the perfect conditions for truly free choice.
So the difficulty is the point.
Exactly. Carla's personal reflection powerfully underscores this. She said, "It is no wonder then that wanderers have some difficulty waking up within the illusion we call consensus reality. It highlights the profound journey of awakening that is inherent within this veiled illusion. It's a deliberate design for deeper learning, where every choice we make really counts."
Okay, let's unpack the core principle that underpins pretty much everything Ra shares, the law of one.
The central theme.
Right. While it states simply and profoundly that all things are one, that all beings are one, this fundamental unity expresses itself through a dynamic principle of polarity. It's not about erasing differences, but understanding their function within the whole.
Unity manifesting as duality, essentially.
Yeah. The first distortion of intelligent infinity, as Ray explains, is free will itself. From this foundational freedom, a crucial split arises, leading to the choice, either service to self or service to others.
The fundamental polarity.
This choice, Ra states, is the axis upon which the creation turns. It determines the direction and nature of all subsequent evolution and experience. It's the most fundamental decision we make as conscious beings.
And re-elaborates on this, right? Explaining that the purpose of polarity is to develop the potential to do work.
Work, meaning evolution.
Yeah, this evolutionary process of self-discovery and growth.
Yeah.
It's done far more efficiently and with greater purity, intensity, and variety by the voluntary searching of mind-body-spirit complexes. It's not about judging one pole as inherently good and the other bad, but recognizing how their dynamic interaction drives growth and experience. Both paths, in their own way, are seeking understanding and embodying aspects of the Creator, just through vastly different orientations.
You might think of it like the physical polarity of a magnet, maybe? It has a positive and a negative pole, both essential, both part of the same magnet.
Good analogy.
As Ra puts it, it is quite impossible to judge the polarity of an act or an entity, just as it is impossible to judge the relative goodness of the negative and positive poles of the magnet. It's about the inherent direction of energy and the choices made within that flow, rather than some inherent moral judgment from a cosmic viewpoint.
Right. Direction, not inherent good or evil.
So if polarity guides our choices, what happens when those choices create imbalances? This leads us naturally to Ra's really profound take on karma.
Karma, often misunderstood.
Very. And it's not about punishment, according to Ra, but more like a cosmic feedback loop designed for learning and balancing the self. It's the accumulation of imbalances from actions and thoughts within third density, meant to present future opportunities for resolution.
Opportunities, not debts.
Exactly. Ra offers a really profound insight into how karma can be resolved through the example of the entity you call Jesus.
Okay.
Ra states that Jesus was absolved karmically of the destruction of an other self when it was in the last portion of lifetime, and spoke upon what you would call a cross, saying, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do."
Forgiveness.
This powerful act, Ra reveals, illustrates that in forgiveness lies the stoppage of the wheel of action, or what you could call karma. It's a direct path to release, emphasizing the internal choice to forgive as the ultimate karmic equalizer.
Wow. So forgiveness stops the wheel. That's huge. This is such a critical teaching because it shifts the perception of karma from like a fixed debt to a dynamic process.
Right.
It raises an important question, doesn't it? How can this understanding of karma and, crucially, forgiveness empower you, the listener, to navigate your own evolutionary path more consciously? It emphasizes personal responsibility and the immense power of internal transformation. Forgiveness from this perspective isn't just about letting someone else off the hook.
It's about freeing yourself.
Exactly. It's about freeing oneself from the karmic cycle.
Okay. Beyond individual experiences, Ra introduces this idea of the archetypal mind as a profound resource.
Archetypes, yes. Like Jung, but maybe more cosmic.
Kind of. Just as ancient wisdom traditions use powerful symbols, Ra reveals this universal archetypal mind like a cosmic language designed to help us grasp our own evolution. These aren't just abstract concepts. They are facets of the one infinite creation.
Okay.
Designed not as the path itself, but as a tool for grasping in an undistorted manner the nature of this evolution. Think of it like a spiritual roadmap, maybe, a blueprint for self-knowledge.
A blueprint, I like that.
Ra specifically relates these archetypes to the tarot, seeing it as a powerful teach-learning tool.
Ah, the tarot connection.
Let's break down a few key archetypes discussed in the Ra material, focusing on their deeper meaning. The matrix of the mind, personified by the magician in tarot, represents the conscious mind and its potent will, our ability to shape reality.
The conscious will.
The father archetype embodies the male, positive, active, creative, radiant aspect, much like our sun, giving life and energy.
Active principle.
Conversely, the mother archetype represents the female, negative, receptive, magnetic aspect, akin to our earth, nurturing and drawing things in.
Receptive principle.
The prodigal son, or the fool archetype, isn't just a story. It symbolizes every entity, every one of us really, that seems to have strayed from unity and seeks to return to the source, embarking on that journey of self-discovery.
The seeker's journey. Makes sense.
And then there's the devil archetype. Now, Ra says this is far from being purely evil in a moral sense. It represents the illusion of the material world and the appearance of evil, but more accurately, it's the provider of catalyst for the growth of each entity in third density.
So the devil archetype provides the challenges we need.
That's the idea. It's the force generating the challenging experiences we need to overcome, to polarize. And finally, the death archetype symbolizes the transition from the yellow ray body, our third density form, to the green ray body, the fourth density form, either temporarily between lives or more permanently at harvest.
So not an end, but a transformation, a doorway.
Exactly. It's not an end, but a transformation.
And Ra highlights that the Logos, our galactic creator, designed these archetypes specifically to create the acceleration of this polarization.
Acceleration? How?
They're not neutral constructs, apparently.
Yeah.
They're integral components in the grand design of conscious evolution, subtly hinting at inborn biases which help to the possibility of one path being more efficient than the other.
Biases towards one path. Service to others, maybe.
Ra doesn't explicitly say good is easier, but the structure seems designed to make the choice clear. These archetypes are like built-in signposts, guiding us toward greater understanding of the paths of service to self or service to others.
Okay, so how do we use this? Ray illustrates a practical application, suggesting that when the conscious mind of the adept may be full to bursting, so that further ideation becomes impossible, like hitting a mental wall.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Right. An adept can call upon the new mind, untouched and virgin, and dwell within the archetype of the new and unblemished mind without bias, without polarity, full of the magic of the Logos.
Wow. Accessing a pure state of mind through an archetype.
It suggests a powerful way to access pure, unbiased thought and fresh perspectives, getting beyond our accumulated mental baggage. A way to enable truly innovative solutions or insights.
That's a fascinating technique, like tapping into the fool archetype consciously.
Exactly. Now, let's explore the external influences that Ross says play a significant, if often unseen, role in this cosmic drama, starting with what Ra calls the confederation of planets in the service of the infinite creator.
The Confederation. The good guys, so to speak.
Well, the service to others-oriented group, yes. This is a truly vast alliance, apparently comprising approximately 53 civilizations, comprising approximately 500 planetary consciousness complexes.
500 planets, that's a lot.
It's huge. It includes entities from Earth who have ascended to higher dimensions, as well as planetary entities within our own solar system and from other galaxies, all allied in service according to the law of one.
Okay, so what's their purpose? Why form a confederation?
Their stated purpose is a deep desire to be of service, which Ra likens to sending aid to a disaster-stricken or extremely impoverished country, like Earth right now, arguably.
Seeing Earth as needing aid.
They contact those who have sought our aid, as Ra puts it, and who possess a desire to seek something outside the physical illusion that often traps our attention. It's a response to a genuine calling, always respecting free will.
Respecting free will is key for them,
Right.
right? Which explains their approach to contact.
Absolutely. Ra explains they generally remain in hiding because many of those of planet Earth at this time do not desire to believe in or have proof of our existence.
Right, they can't force belief.
Exactly. They state they cannot serve one individual and at the same time do a disservice to his neighbor by proving within his own mind that we exist, as this would infringe upon free will. So instead, they communicate primarily through channels like Carla.
Maintaining the veil, maintaining choice.
Precisely. Ra, in fact, specifically identified themselves as a member of this confederation originating from Venus.
From Venus.
Seriously, that's what they said. Ra recounts how 11,000 of your years ago, they naively attempted direct contact with two Egyptian cultures, believing they could learn by direct contact without messing with free will.
How did that go?
They tried to aid them in technical ways, like healing of mind-body-spirit complex distortions through the use of the crystal. And this, Ra states, is precisely how the pyramids were created.
Whoa. Ra claims they built the pyramids.
They claim they were built by their ability using the forces of one, asserting that the stones are alive. The pyramids, they said, served two purposes: individual initiation and balancing of the planetary energy web.
That is a stunning claim, tying ancient Egypt directly to this.
Wow.
It really is. This confederation also operates under the guidance of a Council of Nine.
The Council of Nine. Heard that name before in other contexts.
Right. Russ says they function through telepathic contact to blend distortions harmoniously, ensuring the law of one prevails. This council makes decisions on admitting new social memory complexes, offers aid, and resolves internal questions, creating a unified approach to service across the galaxy.
Galactic governance, almost.
Kind of. Now, in stark contrast to the Confederation's mission, we have the Orion Group.
The opposition. Service to self. Exactly. This is where things take a decidedly different turn, because their explicit purpose is conquest, and their objective is to enslave the unelite, those who do not vibrate in resonance with their self-serving philosophy.
Conquest and enslavement. Pretty clear agenda.
Very clear. They represent a powerful counterforce in the cosmic dance of polarity, actively pursuing the service to self path. Ray even describes their chariots, what we'd call UFOs.
What do they look like, according to Ray?
As having an elongated ovoid shape, which is of a darker nature than silver, but which has a metallic appearance if seen in the light. In the absence of light, it appears to be red or fiery.
Specific description. Gives you an image.
It does.
And the Orion Group's methods are equally stark, right?
Yeah.
Designed for domination. Ray says they typically target the weaker-minded entity to spread their philosophy of service to self.
Easier targets.
Makes sense from their perspective. They conduct physical examinations not for science, but as a means of terrifying the individual and causing it to feel the feelings of an advanced second density being such as a laboratory animal.
Psychological warfare, basically.
Pretty much. Even some reported sexual experiences are described as a subtype of this experience, intended purely to demonstrate the control of the Orion entities over the Terran inhabitant, highlighting their desire for psychological and energetic domination.
Chilling stuff.
It really is. And it's important to understand that a pecking order is inherent in negative thinking. This can lead to a struggle for mastery, even when Orion entities contact highly polarized negative entities here on Earth.
Infighting on the dark side.
Constant internal conflict. It emphasizes hierarchy and control. It's a system where every entity is constantly vying for power over others, reflecting their core philosophy, always looking over your shoulder.
Sounds exhausting. Now, the LL research group themselves, in their dedication, they experienced direct interference, didn't they? What they called psychic attack or psychic readings?
Yes, specifically from a fifth density negative friend, Ra's term from the Orion group.
A negative friend. Interesting phrasing.
Ra's perspective is unique. These weren't subtle influences, though. These attacks were precisely designed to cause physical and mental distortions in Carla, the instrument, specifically aiming to stop the contact.
What kind of effects?
Our sources detail things like dizzying effects, cramping, and the exacerbation of her pre-existing physical conditions, like the arthritis and lupus. It was a direct, targeted effort to disrupt their work and silence Ra's message.
Wow. Direct psychic interference.
Yeah. But what's truly fascinating here, I think, is the group's conscious decision to reframe these experiences, not as attacks, but as psychic readings.
Why greetings? That seems understated.
Well, this reframing was vital to emphasize the individual's choice and how one perceives and responds to such interference. Carla herself noted that the experience that the one who is greeted actually has is in direct proportion to how that entity looks at the situation.
Perception is key.
Exactly. By consciously choosing to praise and seek the light within any situation, one can essentially transmute the experience from an attack into an opportunity for growth and reinforcement of one's own chosen positive path. It's a powerful lesson in conscious perception and choosing your response.
Turn the attack into fuel.
Kinda, yeah. Ra also identified martyrdom as a significant vulnerability for negative influence. They explained that if an entity identifies in any amount toward martyrdom, it is then opened by its free will to the aid of the Orion group to make it a martyr.
So playing the victim opens a door.
It seems that way. The act of self-sacrifice, if it's rooted in a distortion of self-negation rather than pure service, can inadvertently create an energetic opening for negative influence. It highlights the subtle nuances of free will and personal responsibility in these interactions.
Fascinating. On a more curious note, the sources mention silver flecks found on faces sometimes. What did Ra say about those?
Yes, the flecks. Ra described those as a materialization of a subjectively oriented signpost, created by the entity itself in cooperation with the inner planes, usually indicating a point of learned teaching or contact.
Self-created signposts. Okay. And for the broader planetary situation, our sources confirm that Earth is currently under a quarantine, enforced by entities called the Guardians.
Yes, Ra confirms this, which raises an important question regarding free will, doesn't it? Is a quarantine an infringement?
Good question. What did Ra say?
Ra confirms that the quarantine is indeed within free will because it's essentially a mutual agreement at higher levels. The balance is maintained because as the planetary sphere accepts more highly evolved positive entities or groups with information to offer, the same opportunity must be offered to similarly wise, negatively oriented entities or groups through specific windows in the quarantine.
So equal opportunity for both sides to offer influence.
Exactly. It ensures an even playing field for the process of polarity and free choice here, maintaining the veil and the integrity of our third density lessons. It protects us from overwhelming interference, but allows contact based on our seeking.
Okay, that makes sense. So after absorbing all this cosmic perspective, confederations, Orion, densities, harvest, what does this all mean for us, for our personal journey right here, right now?
Good question. Let's bring it down to the personal level.
Let's dive into the concept of the 7 bodies, each corresponding to the 7 colors of the spectrum, with universal energy streaming into our physical form through 7 energy centers that we have called chakras.
Chakras, yes.
Yeah.
Familiar concept to many.
Right. Understanding and activating these centers is absolutely key to personal transformation, according to Ra.
Balancing them is crucial.
Let's explore a few of these vital energy centers and their implications. The red ray, at the root of our being, our base chakra, represents basic survival, our foundation, tied to primal sexual energy and propagation.
Grounding.
Yeah.
Survival.
Then moving up, the yellow ray, the solar plexus. This governs our social relations, personal power, abundance, like wealth, and general physical health. Ra says a blockage here may have difficulty in accepting communication from other mind-body-spirit complexes.
Blocks connection.
And it requires love for all which are in relationship to it. Basically, accepting and loving your place and others in the social fabric.
Self-acceptance within the group. Okay.
Then we have the pivotal green ray, the heart center.
The heart chakra. Central.
Absolutely central.
Yeah.
This is the seat of universal, unconditional love, described as both outgoing as well as inpouring. Its activation signifies a crucial shift where incarnation ceases to be automatic, meaning you gain conscious choice over your rebirths.
Breaking the automatic cycle.
And it is also described as the key to piercing the veil of forgetting, allowing access to deeper truths. Opening the heart opens the door.
Powerful stuff. What about the higher ones?
Moving up, the indigo ray, the third eye, located at the pineal gland. This is described as the gateway to intelligent infinity.
Gateway to the source.
Receiving the least distorted outpourings of love light from intelligent energy. It's the center worked upon by the adept in inner, hidden, or occult teachings, representing infinite in its possibilities. Ra noted all ceremonial work, including their own contact setup, begins in the indigo ray.
The seat of inner vision and connection.
Exactly, and the violet ray at the crown is the sum total, integrating all the others.
Right. But it's important to emphasize, isn't it, that the goal isn't just activating individual centers one by one.
Good point. What is the goal then?
It's about the harmony and balance between these energy centers. Ra says to fully activate each energy center is the mastery of few, indicating that it's a profound and rare achievement to bring them all into full harmonious function.
So balance is the key, not just power.
The subtle interplay and balance flow between these centers is where the true power and spiritual mastery lie, not just blasting one open.
Okay. To aid in this balancing, Ra emphasizes the profound importance of meditation.
Of course. Meditate.
As the means to find the simple truth from within, rather than through external intellectual concepts. It's about direct internal experience and quieting the mind to access that deeper wisdom.
Getting past the mental chatter.
Right. Our sources even highlight that formal rituals, like the banishing ritual of the lesser pentagram, are described by Ra as correct for preparing and purifying a place of working for spiritual activity.
Ritual has its place too.
But Ra stresses that regular repetition of such rituals is crucial. Its absence can leave one vulnerable to unwanted influences, emphasizing discipline in spiritual practice. Consistency matters.
Makes sense. Build the energetic container. And Ra reiterates a fundamental truth for any seeker, right? The seeker seeks the one.
Yes.
The one is to be thought by the balanced and self-accepting self-aware, both of its apparent distortions and its total perfection.
Accepting the flaws and the perfection, that's key.
That inner state of balance and self-acceptance, recognizing both your shadow and your divine nature, is the key to opening oneself to the universe and allowing that deeper flow of intelligent infinity to guide your path, finding inner harmony first.
Okay. The material also explores various diverse healing modalities, offering this really broad perspective on how healing occurs that extends far beyond just conventional medicine.
Right. Healing is multifaceted in this view.
One fascinating example is pyramid healing. Rowe explained how the ancient Egyptians used large pyramids, specifically those with a 76-degree and 18-minute angle at the apex, for healing.
The specific angle matters.
Apparently, an entity would be positioned to allow their life energies to be interrupted or intersected by light. Then a healer, using a crystal, could manipulate this light to adjust aural forces or energy centers.
Focused light in crystal work.
And this is key only if the entity to be healed wills it so. Healing ultimately depends on the individual's conscious will and choice.
Free will again. Always central.
Always. However, Ra cautions against using the King's Chamber configuration specifically for healing today, due to humanity's current lack of purity, indicating the profound spiritual responsibility involved.
Interesting caution. Times have changed.
Ra's perspective on healing is truly holistic, isn't it? Seeing it as a balance of energetic forces and conscious will. Consider crystalline healing.
Crystal healing, yeah.
Ra describes how a crystallized healer, meaning someone who is balanced and unblocked in their own energy centers, can act as a collector and focuser of light.
Like a lens for healing energy.
Exactly. By using a crystal charged with love energy, they can beam healing towards an entity's magnetic field, temporarily adjusting their inner vibratory fields. This offers the one being healed the opportunity to choose a less distorted inner complex of energy fields.
Offering the opportunity for change, not forcing it.
Right. Interestingly, even allopathic healing or conventional medicine is seen through a spiritual lens here.
Oh, so?
Ross states that an allopathic healer, a regular doctor, is in fact an healer. They are often serving others by alleviating bodily complex and mental emotional complex distortions, which allows the person to continue experiencing catalyst and pursuing growth.
So doctors are healers too, facilitating the journey.
It's all part of the grand scheme of service, enabling an individual to continue their spiritual journey with less physical hindrance.
A broader view of healing.
And what about something as challenging as disease or physical distortions? Ra addresses this not as random misfortune, but again, as powerful catalysts for growth.
Illness as catalyst. That's a tough one for many.
It is. Ra directly states things like anger now are causing cancer, and that in fourth density, imbalances or distortions which are of a destructive nature show, in more obvious ways, manifest faster.
Wow. Direct link between emotion and illness.
But such illnesses, Ra says, are correspondingly very amenable to self-healing once the mechanism of the destructive influence has been grasped by the individual.
So understanding the root cause is key to self-healing.
Understanding and addressing it consciously.
This is a challenging concept because from our human perspective, illness is often just seen as pure suffering, right? Something to be eliminated.
Absolutely.
But Ra suggests it's a deeply meaningful catalyst. It's crucial to clarify, though, that catalytic mechanisms are dependent not upon the chosen polarity, but upon the use or purpose to which this catalyst is put in one's mental configuration.
Meaning
the same illness or challenge can lead to vastly different outcomes depending on how an individual consciously processes it and utilizes it for growth. Regardless of whether they are on a positive or negative path, it's about the response.
the meaning you make from it.
Exactly. Carla's own battles with arthritis and lupus are noted as pre-incarnative conditions, chosen beforehand. It underscores how profound life lessons can be built directly into the physical vehicle, chosen by the soul for specific growth opportunities.
Wow. Choosing illness pre-birth. Deep.
Very deep.
Finally, let's turn to this really esoteric concept of the magical personality. Ra describes this as the act of invoking one's higher self.
Okay, invoking the higher self. How does that work?
This is described as a profound spiritual technique for advanced seekers, really pushing the boundaries of self-awareness. This invocation apparently creates a bridge betwixt space-time and time-space,
Bridging dimensions.
allowing the sixth density magical personality, that higher aspect of yourself, to directly experience third density catalyst during the ritual or meditation.
So the higher self gets direct experience of 3D life through the person.
It seems so. It's a way for the higher self to interact directly with the illusion, offering guidance and insight, and it relies on desire, will, and polarity to be effective.
Desire, will, polarity.
Requires focus and intention.
But crucially, Ra emphasizes that this magical personality must be deliberately taken off after the working.
Take it off, like a costume.
Kind of.
Yeah.
To allow the higher self to resume its appropriate configuration in sixth density. This isn't a permanent merging, but a temporary, highly focused connection. It requires conscious disengagement to maintain balance and avoid potential energetic distortions or inflation.
Ah, okay. Grounding afterwards is essential.
Highlights the precision required in such advanced spiritual practices. Not something to be trifled with.
Definitely not. And Carla's powerful personal insight here perfectly encapsulates so much of what we've discussed today, doesn't it?
Which insight was that?
She reflected. Mine was the lesson concerning wisdom. Ra put it to me quite bluntly when he asked what my time was for going to Jerusalem. Essentially he was asking me whether I wanted to martyr myself.
Confronting that tendency directly.
Exactly. This forced her to confront the illusion of self-sacrifice for its own sake, and to truly appreciate her physically limiting body, not as a burden, but as the perfect vehicle for her specific path of profound spiritual growth.
Finding the wisdom in limitation.
Ultimately, she concluded that our greatest service comes not from what we do or say, but in the quality of our being. It's a powerful lesson in presence, acceptance, and living a devoted life from the heart.
Being overdoing. That resonates deeply.
We've journeyed through an incredibly dense and really thought-provoking landscape today, haven't we?
We certainly have. From clicks and slurps to cosmic density.
Right. From the intimate, challenging beginnings of LL research and their profound personal sacrifices, all the way to the vast cosmic insights of the Law of One. We explored the multi-layered concept of densities and cosmic evolution, especially our current transition to fourth density and what harvest might mean. We've delved into the profound interplay of polarity and free will, the unseen dance of the Confederation and Orion entities potentially influencing our world,
The external players.
and the transformative power of spiritual practices like balancing energy centers, and maybe even understanding illness not just as random misfortune, but as a powerful catalyst for personal growth. This material truly offers a panoramic, yet deeply personal, view of existence.
Indeed. And the core message that just reverberates through all these teachings is that fundamental unity. All are the creator. There is one vast panoply of biases and distortions, colors and hues in an unending pattern.
Seeing the one in the many.
Exactly. This perspective reframes every interaction, every challenge, every facet of existence as the creator experiencing itself through us, through everything. It calls us to see unity within diversity, purpose in every distortion, and ultimately our own reflection in everything around us.
So the big question for you, the listener, after this deep dive, what stands out to you? How might these profound insights resonate with your own experience of the world? And how might you begin to see the hidden patterns and purposes in your own journey?
Yeah, what feels true for you?
It's definitely a question worth pondering as you move forward from here.
Absolutely.
And so we leave you with a final contemplative thought from the source material, a deeply personal reflection that encapsulates the essence of service and being. We cannot move from illusion to truth in this body, on this plane of existence. So where is our truest and central service? Not in the doing, but in the being, in allowing the true self, that open-hearted lover of all things in creation, to share its essence with the world, and to allow the love and light of the Infinite One to pass through it and radiate into the planetary consciousness. That is our true just, all of us who have come here at this time to be of service, being, living a devotional and devoted life.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
Being the presence of love.